Dobroveče svima. Dobroveče najpre ispred Udruženja Sommelijera Srbije, ispred ovog divnog zdanja hotela Hyatt, ispred naših dragih prijatelja, slobodno mogu da ih nazovem i braćom i da ih prozovem redom. Na prvom mestu gospodin Đorđ, predsjednik Kiparske asocijacije. Gospodin Rendi, predsjednik Turske asocijacije. I gospodin Dan Aleksandru, potpredsjednik Rumunske asocijacije. Takođe, zahvalio bi se svima koji su nam pomogli u realizaciji ovog našeg malog drugog takmičenja po redu. U pitanju su samo penušava vina. Imamo penušavih vina iz, da kažem, pa da kažemo skoro čitavog sveta, tako da ćemo se lepo družiti. Imali smo danas veoma naporan dan, puno rada, puno, da kažem, takmičenja. Ostalo je od 11 finalista, pošto smo imali jedno odustajanje na samom startu kad je video kakav je test, čovjek se pokupio i otišao kući. Tako da ostalo je 11 takmičara, od tih 11 na kraju je ostalo 3. Tih 3 ćete imati prilike da gledate, da bodrite i da uživamo u njihovim veštinama, da kažem, i znanju. Takođe bi se zahvalio svima vama koji ste došli, naročito Visokoj hotelierskoj školi, sad ne znam gde vas sve ima. Tu ste negde svi. Hvala vam puno svim dragim članovima. Naravno, 8. sili sveta, kao što je gospodin Basarić. Pa morao sam da te prozovem, Perica, Merlo, ne znam gde vam je Parker, ali dobro, pozdravljamo i njega, iako nije tu. Dalje bih prepustio reč našem proslavljenom filmskom glumcu Aleksandru Srećkoviću Kuburi, koji nas uvek verno prati na ovakvim zbivanjima, ovakvim dešavanjima. Molim vas, aplauz. Mogu ja još da pozdravljam? Takođe bih se zahvalio kompaniji Winterhalter koja nam je omogućila da sve ove čaše blistaju večeras, a za čaše se pobrinuo Šot Zvizl, to jest firma koja ih radi u Srbiji, to je Gastromaster. Sam nekog zaboravio. Naravno, Jeca, Dule, znači ljudi takođe koji nas verno prate godinama, Sloba Radeta. Mogu ja ovako još, hoćete? I da, zahvalio bi se najviše Đurđi i Mini koje su me ove godine potpuno rasteretile ovog takmičenja, tako da sam potpuno opušten i sav svoj pritisak prebacujem. Uživajte!
Ovo je drugo takmičenje u penušavim vinima koje smo organizovali i znatno je i test i same discipline koje ste već prošli, bilo mnogo ozbiljnije nego što prošle godine. Tako da svima veliko hvala na uloženom trudu, radu i energiju koju ste uložili, ali nažalost samo 3 može da ide dalje. Bila je onako tesna trka i puno iznenađenja naravno, kao što to volimo da se desi. Tako da ću ja da proglasim ko je prvih 3 finalista. Svi ostali koji nisu ušli u finale mogu da sednu u publiku i da bodre svoje kolege. Finalisti će izaći na stage, da se malo raduju i onda ćemo po rednim brojevima da nastavimo finalno takmičenje dalje.
Odnosno, ja ću vas prozvati.
Odnosno, da, Kuba će vas prozvati. Finalista broj 1 danas je Aleksandar Popov. Finalista ili finalistkinja broj 2 je Nataša Kuvečić. I finalista broj 3 je Vuk Vuletić.
Bravo, Vuče!
Ostali polufinalisti mogu da sednu u publiku. Pred finalisti vinima je vrlo uzbudljivo veče ili poslepodne. Imate nekoliko disciplina i jedan zatak iznenađenja, ali uz svaku disciplinu će vas uvesti kura. Kao što smo odgovorili unapred, zvaničan jezik takmičenja jeste engleski i svaka disciplina će biti objašnjena na engleskom jeziku i svaka dalja komunikacija sa sudijama je isključivo na engleskom jeziku. Po rednim brojevima, od najmanjeg ka najvećem, ćete ulaziti i raditi sve discipline do kraja. Kako završite finalni deo disciplina, sedate svojim kolegama u publiku i čekate drugog i trećeg finalistu. Da još nešto da vam kažem. Vi ste srećni? Jeste? Molim vas.
Biće posle sreće. Sad su uplašeni. Nataša Vuče, izvolite. I Aleksandre, ne mrdaj. So once again, welcome to the Serbian Sommelier Competition Sparkling Wine 2016. Alexander, this is the restaurant you're working in. Before the task starts, you have 2 minutes to get acquainted with the bar, service table, wines and the restaurant area. You understand? Time. Okay, time. I will now read you the task number 1 and 2. This is a restaurant that you work in. At table 1 is a party of 5 people. They are here for the first time and they're celebrating that lady's birthday. Happy birthday. They would like to have a sparkling wine produced by traditional method. A wine that is dry, with aromas of pear and peach, vanilla and brioche. Medium to full-bodied, with palate that combines richness and complexity with lively freshness. Your task is to recommend and sell appropriate wine according to the description and to provide additional service as required. The time that you have available is 8 minutes. You have a mic. Do you understand the task? We can begin? It's 4, sorry. Party of 4. She was angry. Fine. We can begin? Time, please.
So it's your birthday. Would you like to try the wine? Okay. So I will recommend the Veuve Clicquot. It's a brut. It's from France, Champagne. It's crispy and with pear and apple.
Very
Is it
good
right?
choice, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, yes. Okay. Would you prefer some champagne cocktail or it's my choice? Classic, huh? Okay, sorry.
work today. In front of you is a wine list written by a sommelier that used to work here. Your task is to check the wine list, find where there are errors and correct them. The time that you have available is 3 minutes. Do you understand the task? Yes? Do you understand the task? We can begin. Time.
Wine number 1, it's Fruška Gora. Wine number 2, I think it's non-vintage. Number 5, it's not from Italy, it's Portugal. Number 10 is from France. That's it. Number 14 is champagne. Number 3, it's Crnogorski Val, name of the wine.
Alexander, here is task number 4.
Yes? A lot of people.
Is your restaurant?
No.
YouTube is dancing now.
Okay.
Okay, proceed.
Yes.
Thank you. So, as I said, task number 4. Your task is to identify 7 sparkling wines. You can smell them and try them. The task is to give as much possible information about the wine necessary for identification, including method of production, origin, type, style, label, etc. The time that you have available is 5 minutes.
Okay.
Do you understand the task?
Yes?
Shall we begin?
1 sec. Jel imaš neku savetu? This is number 1.
Time, please. Wine number 6. It's Prosecco, non-vintage Italy. Extra brut. Number 5 is also Prosecco. It's a Charmat method, non-vintage. Number 1, it's Brut, non-vintage, traditional method France. Number 1, it's Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Number 2, it's a traditional method. It's from Serbia. Tamjanika, non-vintage, it's Brut.
Number 3, it's, I don't know, maybe Portugal. Number 4. It's non-montage, Montenegro. Why not?
Then we continue with the task number 5.
Okay.
I will read the task. Today we have a promotion of new sparkling wine. In front of you there is a glass of sparkling wine and 3 different dishes. Or
Okay.
it will be. You can taste the wine and taste all the dishes. At the table in front of you are guests who need help with the choice of food with this wine.
Okay.
Your task is to first do a short analysis of wine and food, rate the pairing from best to poor, and explain your choices.
Okay.
After that, please provide help to the guests. The time you have available is 7 minutes. Do you understand the task?
Yes.
This is the wine. Time, please.
It's a medium low body. It's a nice fruity aromas. It's a ripe fruit. Wine is refreshing, so I will recommend this wine with raw fish in the first place. I think it's best combination with this medium low body wine. After that, probably with cheese bruschettas with grape, and I don't know, that's it. Okay. I don't know what else to say. That's it. This bruschettas with cheese, gorgonzola and grape. You're welcome.
Now we'll continue with your tasks. Task number 6 and 7.
Okay.
I will read you your task.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. You can rest a bit. Oh, switching places. Interesting. Okay. So with the new birthday girl, we go to task 6 and 7. Guests at the table 1 ordered a magnum bottle of sparkling wine for lady's birthday. They want the wine to be decanted and served to guests at the table in the restaurant and for 23 other friends who sit at the bar.
Okay.
Wine and all the necessary equipment is at the service station. Glasses for guests at the bar are ready on additional service table. Time that you have available is 12 minutes.
Okay.
Do you understand the task?
Yes.
We can begin. Time, please.
Okay.
The glasses for the bar guests will be served for you.
Okay.
So you can serve.
Good evening. I'm Alexander. I will be your sommelier. will try the wine. Okay. It's SERSA sparkling wine. It's non-vintage from Serbia. It's magnum bottle. Okay. Let's try it. Can I pour it now for the other guests?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Georgia, we're waiting for you. Okay. Georgia, that's you. I'm surprised. So, we can continue with the final surprise task for you, Alexander.
Yes.
I will read you task number 8. We have wine with tirage. Please open it and serve to the guests at table number 2.
Okay.
Consider that wine should be opened upside down in water. The time you have available is 5 minutes. So, are you ready to take a dive?
Yeah. Yes.
Can we start the time?
Yes.
Time, please.
I'm Alexander. I will be a sommelier. Yes. So this is wine with tirage. I must open it upside down in the water. Sorry. It's a new procedure. Who would like to try? Okay.
The traditional method is Charmat.
I think it's Charmat. And for this wine in the bucket, I will give you a dessert in house. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please offer our friends in the restaurant.
Who would like to try?
Number 2 is Vuk Vuletic. Vuce. Vuk obviously has an audience on his side. So I will first you'll have to see this stage as the restaurant you work in. Before the task starts, you have 2 minutes to get acquainted with the bar, service table, wines, and the restaurant area. You can start. Time, please.
Može biti.
Okay, now we have to get serious because we're starting the official part of competition for work. Tasks number 1 and 2. This is a restaurant that you work in. At table 1 is a party of 4 people. They're here for the first time and they are celebrating the lady's birthday. They would like to have a sparkling wine produced by traditional method. The wine that is dry with aromas of pear and peach, vanilla and brioche. Medium to full-bodied with the palate that combines richness and complexity with lively freshness. Your task is to recommend and sell appropriate wine according to the description and to provide additional service as required. The time that you have available is 8 minutes. Do you understand your task?
Could you just repeat the aromas of the desired wine?
So they would like to have a sparkling wine produced by traditional method, a wine that is dry with aromas of pear and peach, vanilla and brioche. Medium to full-bodied with palate that combines richness and complexity with lively freshness.
Right.
Do you understand the task now?
Yes.
Can we start the time? Time, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Vuk and I will be your sommelier. I heard that one of you has a birthday today. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
Oh, it's the Mademoiselle birthday. So would you like to celebrate with a bottle of sparkling wine?
Yes, of course, we would like to enjoy and celebrate your birthday.
So I would like to recommend you a sparkling wine from Serbia, which is Blonde Noir. It's made by Aleksandrovic, 100% Pinot Noir from 2009. Would that wine suit you for the aperitif?
Yes.
All right. So this is the wine I was talking about. It's traditional method, 2009, 15 months on the lease. It's in perfect condition now to drink. Let me open the bottle. Yes, certainly. Not a problem. So, madam, like champagne cocktail?
Yes.
Yeah? Champagne classic, right? It was invented in 1862 by Jerry Thomas, called Professor, because he wrote a book, the first book about the bar. So I'll present the cork. Sorry? 1862. Well, here's a cocktail. Perhaps you found in the new days recipes that some of the people use the cognac in the recipe, but originally in 1862, when Jerry Thomas wrote the book, cognac was excluded. So that's why we use it. We make it without cognac, only a little bit of brown sugar, Angostura bitter, and sparkling wine. Certainly. So, sir, would you like to try the wine? With this wine, I would like to pair you a little bit of foie gras that we make, torchon of foie gras with Mondiou bread and dates. What do you think about it for a starter? Would you like me to remove the cork, sir? Or you want to do this? Here you go, madam. We made it with Serbian brandy vineyard.
Okay, we move to task number 3. This is the champagne bar where you have just started to work today. In front of you on the screen you will see a wine list written by a sommelier that used to work here. Your task is to check the wine list, find where there are errors and correct them. Time you have available is 3 minutes. Do you understand the task?
Certainly.
So we can start the time. Time, please.
So wine number 1, Kovacevic, Blanc de Blanc. S is missing from the second Blanc. It's Brut and Frupka Gora, it's Fruška Gora, it's misspelled. Serbia is correct. Second wine, Triumf Noir, Aleksandrovic, 2009, Šumadija, Serbia. A is missing in the middle of Aleksandrovic word. Wine number 3, Val Brut, 2003, from Plantage. It's actually from 2010, and it's produced in extra dry and dry, so this is all right, so only 2010. And wine number, and it is, yes, Kadar Lake region, should be. Wine number 4, Campo Largo, Espumante Brut, 2011, Beirada DOC Portugal, that this one is all right. Wine number 5, Alianza Baga, Beirada Reserva Brutto, 2014, is not from Italy. This is the wine from Portugal, it's Beirada DOC as well, and it is Baga, the Baga is the grape variety, that's all right. And then wine number 6, Tenuta Santomé Prosecco, extra dry, DOC Treviso, Italy, this one is all right. Yeah, should be. Wine number 7, Bottega Gold, Millesimato, DOC Italy, the dryness level is missing, it is Brut, so it should be written as well, because most of Proseccos are extra dry, it could be very confusing. Wine number 8, Cinzano Prosecco, DOC Italy, the same, I shouldn't say mistake, but only thing I would add is that I would write Cinzano, it's a dry Prosecco. It should be written on the label. Bellay Rosé, Brut, Provence, Italy, Provence, France. This one is not Brut. It is extra dry, if I'm not wrong, but it's not Brut for sure. It has some sugar. It's made from Grenache, Syrah, and Cinsault. Wine number 10, Veuve Clicquot Brut, non-vintage, Champagne. It's not written França, it's written France. A is on the end. Wine number 11, Piper Heidsieck Cuvée Brut, non-vintage, Blanc de Blanc. Again, S is missing in the second Blanc. Champagne France is all right. Wine number 12, Piper Heidsieck Rosé Sauvage, non-vintage, Champagne France. Yes, as well in the wine number 11, Piper Heidsieck Cuvée Brut is not Blanc de Blanc. It's a cuvée dominated by Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. It has, I think, only about 20% of Chardonnay. Wine number 13, Moet Chandon. A is sufficient, so it's only Moet Chandon without A at the end. Imperial Brut, it's written together without the comma. It's Imperial Brut, 2005. This is not a vintage champagne. It's non-vintage Champagne France. And the wine number 14, Bollinger Special Cuvée, non-vintage Champagne France. Only mistake is Champagne is written with A at the end instead of A. That's it.
Bravo. This was quite impressive. We're moving to the task number 4.
No more wine.
I second that. More wine for the host. More wine for the host. We're proceeding with the task number 4. Your task is to identify 7 sparkling wines. You can smell them and try them. The task is to give us as much possible information about the wine necessary to identification, including the method of production, origin, type, style, label, etc. The time you have available is 5 minutes. Do you understand the task?
So I should only identify the wine, not to describe it.
Your task is to give us as much possible information about the wine necessary for identification.
All right. We shall start.
Time, please.
So the wine number 1. Traditional method, vintage sparkling wine, 2009, Triumf Noir, Aleksandrovic. Wine number 2, Charmat method or Martinotti method, however you want to call it. It's definitely a Prosecco from Veneto, from Italy. It's on the border of extra dry and dry, I would say around 16-17 grams of sugar perhaps. I would personally declare it as extra dry, and I would say that is possibly San Tome Prosecco. Treviso DOC. Wine number 3, traditional method. I would say it's from the warmer climate, a lot of fake sweetness on the mouth, on the nose as well. Fully ripened fruits. So personally, and it's a young one, so personally I would go for Aliança 2014 Baga from Portugal, Bairrada DOC. Wine number 4, traditional method of production. It's certainly wine from a moderate climate, maybe a little bit colder. I would go, much pleasant acidity. It's very nice. This one is very quality wine. Very quality wine. Personally, I would go for a champagne. Definitely, it's a rosé that you can see, and by its no, I changed my mind. Traditional method, Cremant level, probably Bel Air Rosé from Provence. We'll skip wine number 5 from now. We'll move to wine number 6 and we'll return to the 5 later. Wine number 7, it's from a little bit, let's say, quietly colder climate, I would say. Wine number 6, sorry. Wine number 6, colder climate, I would say Fruška Gora, Kovačević Brut, cuvée of Chardonnay and Riesling from 2010. Wine number 7, Campo Largo 2011, mix of cuvée of Bical and 2 other grape varieties of Portugal, Bairrada DOC traditional method. Wine number 5, Wolf Clicquot non-vintage yellow label.
So this concludes the task number 4 for WUK. We will continue with the task number 5 for WUK. Today we have a promotion of a new sparkling wine. If in front of you is a glass of that sparkling wine and 3 different dishes as a recommendation from the kitchen. You can taste the wine and all the dishes. At the table in front of you are guests who need help with the choice of food with this wine. Your task is to first do a short analysis of wine and food Then rate the pairings from best to poor and explain your choices. After that, please provide help to the guests. The time you have available is 7 minutes. Of course. Of course. Too much tasks for you. Your task is to first do a short analysis of wine and food. Then rate the pairing from best to poor. And then explain your choices. Afterwards, please provide help to the guests. Do you understand the task? So you have 7 minutes. We can start time, please.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Vuk. I will try to pair the wine and food for you for dinner that we have tomorrow for our guests that you're making for a celebration. Personally, I would like to try with the wine first, without the food, to see how is the wine behaving on itself. So we have a nice rosé sparkling wine made by traditional method. It has a nice amount of sweetness in it, lots of fresh red fruit, so a little bit of berries as well. But the sweetness in this wine will make it very gastronomic for the dishes that we will pair for you. The sweetness will help the food perhaps to improve. And we will start with the bite number 1, which seems to be the smoked salmon with a little bit of wild rocket salad and so first dish that we have is a salmon with rocket salad on the small thin sliced bread with creamy cheese on the top of it. It's an interesting pairing. It's not a bad one, but the salmon is a little bit maybe perhaps too strong for the wine. We'll try the other dishes, so we'll see. We have a nice hard cheese, probably French, with a little bit of grapes on it and aceto dressing. This is certainly an interesting pairing. So the dish number 3 is some kind of, looks like a pate made of beef, a little bit of with onion and spice. It would be definitely be the worst pairing, poorest pairing of these 3 because it has too much onion and it's too spiced for the wine that we have in optional. We have here our beautiful Rosé Cremant from Provence. It's a very nice one. It would be a pity to pair it with this dish, but the middle, let's say the optional pairing that we could go with, it would be an interesting one, maybe not suitable for everybody, but it's the salmon with creamy cheese and wild rocket salad. It's an interesting pairing with this wine because you have a smoked salmon, and then later when you take a sip of this wine, its fruitiness will help it, to make some balance, but still the salmon is a little bit overwhelming it, and probably and for sure the best pairing would be with hard cheese that we have here on the bread and grapes and aceto dressing on the top. We'll give it one more try. Yes, definitely goes well. It will be a perfect starter and perfect wine number one for dinner tomorrow that you are organizing. And then if you have time now, we can go later with other dishes and other wines for dinner. That would be it from the food and the wine on this one.
I'm lactose intolerant, so what would be the second dish, the second pair you would suggest?
If you're lactose intolerant, from these three, I would certainly go with the salmon. Only we would remove the cheese. We would remove the cheese, cream cheese, and we will go just plain wild rocket salad and smoked salmon on it. Maybe a little bit of olive oil, just to give something to be a little bit oilier and to have more body. All right, thank you very much.
Molim da popiš da pojedeš pa to čuda.
Just lactose intolerance or dairy free?
Guests at the table 1 ordered a magnum bottle of sparkling wine for lady's birthday. They want the wine to be decanted and served to guests at the table in the restaurant, but also for 23 friends who sit at the bar. Wine and all the necessary equipment is at the service station. Glasses for guests at the bar are ready on additional service table. The time you have available is 12 minutes. Do you understand the task? Of course. Guests at the table 1 ordered a magnum bottle of sparkling wine for a birthday. They want the wine to be decanted and served to the guest at the table in the restaurant, but also for 23 other friends who sit at the bar. Wine and the necessary equipment is at service station. Glasses for guests at bar are ready on additional service table. Do you understand the task? The time you have available is 12 minutes. We can start. Time, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Vuk and I will be your sommelier tonight. My colleague told me that you ordered a magnum bottle of sparkling wine for a special occasion.
Yes.
Happy birthday from our team, and we will see from our chef that we make something special for a dessert, if you don't mind. All right. I suggest that the bottle of sparkling wine should be decanted because it's a nice vintage champagne, which is 20 years in a bottle, and it would improve with a little bit of breathing in the decanter. Do you agree with that one?
I agree with that.
All right. when we decant the sparkling wine, it's very important to make it cold. So we'll put decanter on ice to chill it a little bit. This is your wine?
Yes.
Good. Corkscrew. Just check if the wine is alright. Doesn't bother you. Because sometimes with vintage champagnes, they can lose all the bubbles and the fizziness that we are searching in them. Perfectly healthy condition. We'll proceed to decanting. When it's about to decant the vintage champagne like this one, it's very important to do it very slowly because we don't want to create any loss of the bubbles. There already some of them are gone due to the aging process, because every year, even if the cork is in perfect condition, we lose a little bit of bubbles, and then but the fizziness on the mouth, on the palate remains the same. But on the side, for sight is very important as well, certainly. So we'll do it very, very, very slowly so that you don't lose any of those precious bubbles we have inside. Could I please ask you about the start, or should I bring you the menu to take a look? Our personal suggestion for tonight is to start with pork terrine with a nice jam of pistachio and walnuts. It's a nice first dish, and this champagne likes food like this, likes pork, because this is a full-bodied champagne. Do you agree on that one? The brioche is coming on the side, pork is coming, and the sauce is coming on the side. The dressing that I told you with pistachio and walnuts. Look at this beautiful golden color that it achieved with aging. So please, would like to try the bottle, to try the zip of this wonderful champagne. We'll now move on and pour the wine for all your friends over there. They're waiting. You don't want to keep them thirsty.
wine with tirage. Please open it and serve to the guests on the table number 2. Consider that wine should be opened upside down in water. Time you have available is 5 minutes. Do you understand the task?
Do I need to present the bottle? I mean, considering it's without the label and...
You have to please open the bottle and serve to the guests at the table number 2. That's your task. Okay, we can start the time. Time, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Vuk and I'm a sommelier tonight. It's so nice to see you again in our restaurant. And please, due to all the visits you have made, all the pleasant visitors and the dinners that you had here, we would like to surprise you with a bottle of sparkling wine. Have you ever tried a sparkling wine under lease? I mean, it's a traditional method, and the lease, the disgorgement still haven't been done. Would like to give it a try.
To understand that it's a local champagne or is it
Yes,
sparkling?
it's a local sparkling wine from Mountain of Fruška Gora, from our winery Deurić, and it's Pinot Noir, Rosé, 100% Pinot Noir.
Excellent. It will be our pleasure to try the sparkling, yeah.
Thank you. We took care of it, empty glasses. But it has to be open upside down. Are you scared?
Before safety first.
I thought that we know each other for some time, that you trust in me.
I do, but...
We don't trust even atmosphere from the sparkling.
Everyone prepare the phones?
So basically, what we'll do, it's under a cap here. It's the same cap like you have on a beer or a Coke. It's the cap that they use for aging. When the wine is under tirage, just take the bottle out to place the... And then the lees will fall out, it will go out, and hopefully we'll save more than 5/6 of the wines, 5/6 of the wines. So wonderful. I'm very curious to give it a try because I never tried it before. This is the first time that we open it. Would you care to give it a try? I have to tell you that it's still on its lease about 3 months, so it's not filtered very much. It's very interesting to see how it will develop in a couple of months. You know, they told me they are planning to release it on the market in about 7 to 8 months. So look at that amount of bubbles that you have. Probably we'll have to wait a little bit more for it to calm down. So I hope that you will enjoy this interesting present for us, and I will come in no time. I'll come with the menus to see what we're going to eat with it. Thank you.
Treći takmičar za večeras, treći finalista je Nataša Kuvačić. Nataša, izvoli. Jedina dama u večerašnjem finalu, no i za tebe ista pravila. Dakle, this is the restaurant you're working in. Before the task starts, you have 2 minutes to get acquainted with the bar, service table, wines, and the restaurant area. Time, please. You have 2 minutes. Are up.
Okay.
We can start. I will read you tasks number 1 and 2.
Okay.
You ready? This is a restaurant that you work in. At the table number 1 is a party of 4 people. They're here for the first time and they're celebrating the lady's birthday.
Okay.
They would like to have a sparkling wine produced by traditional method, a wine that is dry, with aromas of pear and peach, vanilla and brioche, medium to full-bodied, with a palate that combines richness and complexity with lively freshness. Your task is to recommend and sell appropriate wine according to the description, and to provide additional service as required. The time that you have available is 8 minutes. Do you understand the task?
If you don't mind, I would ask you to repeat once again.
Of course. So the guests who like to have a sparkling wine produced by traditional method, a wine that is dry, with aromas of pear and peach, vanilla and brioche, medium to full-bodied,
Okay.
with palate that combines richness and complexity with lively freshness. Your task is to recommend and sell appropriate wine according to description and to provide additional service as required.
Okay.
Can we start?
We can
Your
start.
time is 8 minutes.
Thank you.
Time, please.
Welcome, guests. Welcome to our restaurant. I heard that you have a very nice reason to celebrate this night. So, if you don't mind, I would recommend you a wine that is domestic, made by traditional method. So, if you don't mind, I would recommend you Triumph from Aleksandrovic. It is a wine made from traditional method, full richness, citrus, peach, beer. If you want to try.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. my mistake. I should recommend you another wine from the same winery. It's also Aleksandrovic, but the aromas are a little bit different. It's raspberry, currant. So if you don't mind, we can change from peach and cider to some red fruity aromas.
Okay.
It's the same winery, the same method is
And the
the wine.
description what we want to is a little bit different.
Yes, I know, but if you don't mind, we've ran out of that wine because it's very wanted on our market. Thank you very much. Okay, so you all want champagne and she wants...
Just for her, and everybody else will enjoy the wine.
Okay, it's okay. Would you mind tasting it first? It's okay. I can make a cocktail, okay?
number 3, Natasha. This is a champagne bar where you have just started to work today.
Okay.
In front of you on the screen, you will see a wine list written by a sommelier that used to work here. Your task is to check the wine list, find where there are errors and correct the errors. Time you have available is 3 minutes. Do you understand the task?
Would you mind repeating once
Of course,
again?
no
Okay,
problem.
Thank
Your task is to check the wine list,
you. Okay.
find where there are errors and
Okay.
correct the errors.
Okay. I correct it here or written?
No, you just correct the errors vocally.
Okay.
So your time is 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Time, please.
May I start? Okay. In the first, I think that there is a spelling mistake. Instead of frupka, it should say fruška. And the second, I think that the year should be right in front of the Triumph, should be beside Triumph Noir. Triumph Noir 2009. Then name of the winery, then region, then country. In the third, it should says Val 2013, Brut, then name of the winery, region and country. In fourth, I think everything is okay. Fifth, also I think everything is okay. Also in the sixth, well, maybe it's okay, but I can't see. Also in the seventh, I can't see mistake, but that's me. I'm not Vuk.
Lucky you.
Yes, I'm not the wolf. In eighth, I think that it should say Prosecco, Cinzano, DOC, Italy. In ninth, Bel Air, Bel Air Rosé, Brut Provence, France. Maybe we should add one L in Bel Air. I couldn't hear, excuse me. Okay. The 10th, Veuve Clicquot, it should says maybe Veuve Clicquot non-vintage Brut, Champagne, but it's not France, Franca than France. Piper, Hadzek, Cuvée, Brut. Maybe Blanc de Blanc should be written with the first letter should be big. Okay, I'm out of time. Thank you.
We will continue with task number 4 for our lovely Natasha. A smile, Natasha. That's right.
Thank you. I'm out of time every time. I'm a winner for that.
So, now you will have 5 minutes for the task number 4. Your task is to identify 7 sparkling wines.
Okay.
You can smell them, you can taste them. The task is to give as much possible information about the wine necessary for identification, including method of production, origin, type, style, label, etc. Time you have available is 5 minutes.
Okay.
Do you understand the task?
May I ask you to repeat again?
Of course you can. So you have 7 sparkling wines to identify. You can smell them and try them.
Okay.
The task is to give as much possible information about the wine, necessary to identify the wine, including method of production, origin, type, style, label.
Okay.
That's your task. You understand the task?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. We can start the time. Time, please.
The first one, a traditional method. The origin, I think it's France. The second one is more fruity, more freshy, and the bubbles are larger than in the first, so it can be somewhere from Italy. Charmat method. The third one also maybe traditional method. I can also smell some citrus, and I think it's some domestic wine. It's like from Serbia. It could be. The fourth one, I think it's Blanc de Noir. It's also traditional method. I think it also comes from Serbia because of some simpler smell. The fifth one also could be a Charmat method coming from Italy because of the freshness and more flowery notes. The fifth one may be also the sixth one may be also Charmat method because of the citrus notes and flowers. I can feel some lees, so I think it's also Charmat method. It comes from Italy. And the seventh one, I can feel some minerality, I can feel some salt. It could be somewhere from Spain or Portugal, and it could also be a traditional method because of the bubbles that looks like pearls. That's all I can say. Thank you.
So now we move to task number 5 for Natasha. Food and wine pairing. Today we have a promotion of new sparkling wine.
Okay.
In front of you will be a glass of sparkling wine and 3 different dishes as recommendation from the kitchen. You can taste the wine and taste all the dishes. At the table in front of you are guests who need help with choice of food with this wine. Your task is to first do a short analysis of wine and food, then rate wine and food, then rate pairing from best to poor.
From best to poor.
Yes, and explain your choice. After that, please provide help to the guests. The time you have available is 7 minutes. You want me to
May-
repeat your task?
Please.
Of course. So you can, in front of you, you will find a sparkling wine and 3 different dishes. You can taste the wine and you can taste all the dishes. Your task is to first do a short analysis of wine and food and then rate the pairings from best to poor and explain your choices.
Okay.
Do you understand your
Should I
task?
do analysis in front of the guests vocally, or I can think in my head and
You should do, don't think, talk.
talk? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you do analysis of wine and food and then rate pairing from best to poor and explain your choices.
Okay.
The time you have available is 7 minutes. Can we start the time? Thank you. Time, please.
Well, my dear guests, I think that the first dish that I tried and this wine could be possibly matched because of the little bit of piquant taste that this dish have, and this wine has full body to compare with this, and also it's very fruity and has enough minerality, so it can be a good match. But let me please try another one dish, so maybe we can discuss about it. We can find a better match. Well, my dear guests, I would recommend you to this wine. You can eat with this salmon because the salmon has enough body to compare with this wine, and also this wine is a little bit fruity and a little bit minerality. So, and the salmon comes from the sea, so we can find the match there in minerality. And I think that this cheese is very neutral, so it can't have a lot of influence on this wine. So this wine also has enough acidity to wash your mouth and prepare your mouth for another. You know what I mean. Bite. Thank you very much. So I would recommend you this wine because of enough acidity and very fruity aromas, and this salmon because of its body, elegance, and minerality.
We have an allergy to seafood. So, what would be your second?
My second recommendation would be this meat mixed with piquant notes. Yes, of course. because this wine can bear that because of its full body and the high acidities. The acidities are very pleasant, so it's not very high. So this wine, after this one bite, can also wash your mouth and prepare for the another bite. Thank you.
Not the last and not the least. Can we start with the task number 6 and 7? Thank you. Almost. They will do it while we read the task. Guests at the table 1 ordered a magnum bottle of sparkling wine for lady's birthday. Lady G has a birthday today for the 3rd time. They want their wine to be decanted and served to the guests at the table in the restaurant, but also for 23 other friends who sit at the bar. Wine and all the necessary equipment is at the service station. Glasses for guests at the bar are ready on additional service table. The time you have available is 12 minutes. Do you want me to repeat the task?
If you don't.
No problem. So, the guests want the wine to be decanted and served to guests at the table in the restaurant and also for 23 other friends who sit at the bar.
Okay.
For the guests in the
For
restaurant
the
and
guests and plus 23.
yes.
Okay.
You have the wine and necessary equipment placed at the service station and glasses for the guests at the bar are ready on additional service table. The time you have available is 12 minutes. Do you understand the task?
Yes.
Okay, we can start the time. Time,
Okay.
please.
Thank you. This is the bottle we were talking about.
Yes.
tonight. I'm going to serve this to your friends. That's a big
Now we go to the surprise task number 8. We have wine with tirage.
Okay.
So please open the wine and serve it to the guests on the table number 2. Consider that wine should be opened upside down in water. So your task is to open the bottle and serve to the guests at the table number 2. The time you have available is 5 minutes. Do you understand your task?
Yes, for the first time.
Thank you. First and the last time. So good luck.
Thank you.
Time, please.
Happy birthday. Here we are. It was very surprising task.
Sorry, I came with my lovely friends here in your restaurant
Okay.
because we are hearing that you are excellent quality
excuse me?
food in this restaurant. May I ask you something? If this bottle it's a Charmat or it's a Champenoise method?
Well, I think it's a traditional
Oh,
method.
excellent! Bravo!
Bravo.
Bravo!
It comes from Serbia. It's a traditional method. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. Ovo gotovo na 23. trema.
Dali dovoljno vremena da to učine kako treba, da ne bi čekali previše. Takmičare molim pregled za jednu zajedničnu fotografiju.
Hvala, Bežo.
Hvala
I
Aleksandar.
proglasi open bar.
Ovo je redosled vina koja su išle. Znači, Bolinger šampanjac, Santon Prosecco, Kovačević Penuševo vino, Piper Heidsieck Rosé Sauvage, Cinzano Prosecco, Aleksandrović Triumf Noir i Campo Largo Penuševo vino iz Portugalije.
To je bilo onih 7 vina.
Onih 7 vina koji su imali za identifikaciju. Belair Rosé iz Provence je vino koje su imali kao zadatak da upare sa hranom, a Crnogorski val, Polusuvi i Bottega Prosecco su bila vina koja su polufinalisti imali na blind taste.
Sada ću pozvati jednog od naših najboljih glumaca svih vremena, Aleksandra Srećkovića Kuburova.
Šta znači to?
Ja bih zamolio Zdravka da donese jednu košulju 43 da ga skinem s dnevnog reda života. Rece mu svako! Bravo!
Nego ćemo tebe da čekam.
Da ne čekamo sledeći takmičenje.
Čekaj, kako su ovo cifre, šta se treba?
Koliko ti ko dođe love?
Samo ovo.
Ja sam uzao od
Nije trebalo da dolazi. Čekaj, šta piše ovde disciplina? Znači, Aleksandar Popov, disciplina je 54 poena, izvođenje 22,33, sve ukupno 76,33 poena. Za Aleksandra. Dakle, po redosledu nastupa, Vuk Vuletić, discipline 73 poena, izvođenje 28,16 poena, dakle sve ukupno 101,16 poena. Draga dama Nataša Kuvačić, discipline 39 i izvođenje 23,16, sve ukupno odličnih za prvi nastup 62,16. Možemo proglasimo pobednika Serbian Sommelier Competition Sparkling Wine za 2016. To je naš dragi drug i prijatelj Vuk Vuletić. Novembra u Francusku, Bordeaux i Konjak regija.
Ja bih zamolio Miloša da nam da drugu i treću nagradu, a za prvu nagradu ću ja Vuka voditi u Francusku. A ne testim samo da ga
se zove nagrada.
uzet će nam ga Francuzi, neće ga vratiti. Identično, znači nije Kovačević unutra, ima tu i Gurklikova. Nek što ti nam malo skratiš. Ne.
Nadao sam se da će Vuk da bude drugi, pa zbog toga bude bogato, jer bi ja to pio.
Znači, potpuno su identične kutije, samo smo ove upotrebili i upotrebili smo namerno srpska vina. Kutije, Aco i Koja. Želimo zdravlje i veselje da ih popijete, sa svima nama zovite nas.
Ostao će skar na drugi put za redom.
Zahvalio bih se još jedan osobe hotela Kajat, naravno svim dragim kolegama koji su učestvovali na sve moguće načine, od podrške do takmičenja, kamere, žiri, razredni i tako dalje. Svima vama koji su došli da nas ispratite, nadam se da vam nije bilo dosadno, da ste uživali i da ste popili koji mi porići. Hvala vam još jedan put.
for the Argentine.